When it comes to investing in Bitcoin, many wonder how long it will last. Will it still be around and relevant in 100 years? Or will it fade into history like so many other bold experiments? Money has constantly evolved. Once it was salt, then shiny metals, then paper. Now, for most of us, money is just numbers glowing on a screen. Against that backdrop, Bitcoin feels less like a bizarre outlier and more like the next step in a long tradition of humans arguing about what counts as valuable. Since its birth in 2009, Bitcoin has evolved from a fringe idea among cypherpunks to being described as digital gold, even finding its way into government reserves and portfolios of trillion-dollar asset managers. But is this long-term importance real? Or is Bitcoin just a phase, a financial fidget spinner? To guess at its future, it helps to look at things that have actually stuck around. Gold and silver have held value for millennia. The internet, email, and the humble QR code, somehow still everywhere, have endured for decades. What they share is a mix of scarcity, usefulness, adaptability, and independence from any single authority. Bitcoin shares many similarities. At its heart, it's a protocol, open source code for a decentralized payment network with a fixed cap of 21 million coins. Anyone can run the software, and anyone can use the network. Thousands of people across the planet run nodes, computers that store the whole record of transactions and enforce network rules. Some of these nodes do extra work. They're miners, competing to add new blocks of transactions to the chain. In return, they earn freshly minted Bitcoin and transaction fees. Technically, even if all but one node vanished, Bitcoin would limp on. So why do people keep running them? Simply put, incentives. For miners, it's the built-in rewards. For users, running a node is like double-checking the math yourself. You don't have to trust anyone else. Together, these economic and social incentives form the backbone of Bitcoin's survival. Of course, 100 years is a very long time. Whole empires rise and collapse in that window, and Bitcoin isn't immune from threats. There are technical risks, like quantum computers that could one day break the cryptography underpinning Bitcoin, so developers would need to adapt the protocol when the time comes. Bugs are also possible, though the community has patched them before in the early days. And in 2140, the last Bitcoin will be mined. After that, miners are meant to live off transaction fees. Whether that will be enough is still an open question. Social risks might be even trickier. Communities fracture, power shifts, whales, corporations, even governments might try to steer Bitcoin's future. And then there's the bigger, almost philosophical question. Can a deflationary form of money thrive in societies addicted to debt and infinite growth? Still, Bitcoin isn't without advantages. It's the largest and most secure blockchain. Its code is open, watched by thousands of developers worldwide. Its censorship resistance makes it hard for even nation-states to shut down. Power is split among miners, users, and developers, a messy balance, but one that prevents easy capture. And it can adapt. The Lightning Network speeds up transactions, and future tech could bring new uses we can't yet imagine. Of course, none of this guarantees permanence. Though right now, trust in fiat currencies and governments seems shakier than trust in code and math. Inflation, debt crises, or another event on the scale of 2008 could push it further into the mainstream. Or maybe not. But even if Bitcoin didn't survive, it's already changed how we imagine money, who controls it, who issues it, and whether it can exist outside the state. Perhaps the better question isn't whether Bitcoin itself will still be here in 100 years, but whether the ideas it unleashed will. And in the end, Bitcoin's survival doesn't depend on being perfect, just better than the alternatives. And right now, there's nothing quite like it. Want to know what happens after the last Bitcoin is mined? Watch this next.